what the neat thing is you need to fish the spots where they live. And I specifically am after the groupers. Now groupers, I don't know if they dig the hole, I haven't figured that out, but they live in holes and little pockets and things like that down on the bottom. And they come up, they steal the bait a few feet in the air when it goes by. They just think it's like a dead fish swimming by or whatever they're thinking, I have no idea. They grab the bait, they run back for their hole. So sometimes if you don't grab it fast enough and hook them, get that hook set, they'll get in their hole and then you got to fight them out. And it just turns into, it's hard. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. I had one a couple weeks ago, decent sized fish. Must have got to his hole. I could not get him out of his hole. I turned the boat on. I'm trying to turn it certain ways because maybe it was on an angle. Nope, he wasn't coming out. He was stuck. I just had to cut the line, not cut the line, but I pulled, and then bing! Because I have a 100-pound test line and I have 50-pound lead for that exact reason. And then I'll show you the rig I use here in a minute. I pull these back up to go back in. I'm at 145, so we'll wait for 5 more feet of water. But I'll show you the rig I use. Just a common slip, a slip weight. I'm using 5 ounce right now. .5-ounce slip weight with a swivel clip, and then on the clip I'll attach another swivel, no clip, and that's where I tie about 6 feet of lead on. Something, it depends on what it is, anywhere from 3 feet to 20 feet of lead. I know some are 20. These other guys use 60 feet of lead. But anyway, I'll use up to 20 feet of lead, usually somewhere in the 6 to 10 foot area. That way, when your regular line's heavier, the lead will snap before your line does, and it takes your weight and everything else. It's actually a pretty decent setup. I like it. It's the same thing we used up north, you know, back up in Raritan Bay. Kuiper, Perillo, you all know what I'm talking about. You know, Sean Bame, you know, where we used the little slip. I still have them here. I'll show you when I go through my bait and tackle and show you what I'm doing down here. But same idea, same slip thing. The only thing is down here we use more egg sinkers. They seem to be more successful for me because for some reason when I'm using them swivel clips that hold the weight, that slide on the line, they freaking wind up like spinning. The bait spins on its way down, and yeah, the weight gets all tied up, and I don't want to get into it. But this is me, guys. This is what I'm doing now. I work 5 days a week. Love my new job. I'm not disclosing what I'm doing right now because it's nobody's fucking business. Because half you motherfuckers up there in Pennsylvania can't stand. You all know who you are. You're just gonna go fuck yourself. Keep being miserable. I'm gonna be down here doing my thing. But this is at work 5 days a week. What's neat about it, I have a canal right where I live, where I dock my boat. And sometimes at 4 o'clock when I get off work, I'll get home, change up a little bit, jump in the boat, and head out for 3-4 hours. And right now it's getting dark right around 8 o'clock. So somewhere around 7:30, I usually come back in, depending on whatever. And up here, this is pretty neat too. Rather than buying bait all the time, these are pinfish traps right here. You throw them in anywhere from like 3.5 to about 20 feet of water. You put a piece of bait in there. I'll show you. Actually, maybe I'll do a little video of it when on the way back. I'll show you what I do, and then they throw them in there. And then it's all the free bait you want. Whatever bait I have left over, if I catch a shitty fish, I'll use that. I'll chop it up, throw it in there, and the pinfish go in. And actually, sometimes, man, I'll tell you what, it's hit or miss out here. The ballyhoos to me still is the best, but there are times I think the live bait does better, and sometimes the live bait don't do shit, and you know, we'll see. But sometimes pinfish, they're about this big. They might be 4 inches or less, maybe 5 inches. But I'll stop at this, it's not a wreck. When there was an old bridge here during a hurricane, they destroyed that bridge and threw it out here to create some cover and all for some fish. So I'll stop at a couple of them. They're called the little humps out here, and they're in about 40 feet of water, but they go up to like 12 because of how they piled them up out there. and you'll find these grunts. Maybe one day I'll do some grunt fishing too, and I'll show you what it's all about. Because like, you know, you catch these grunts, sometimes they're this big, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? No fish gonna. I'll come out here and I'll bang on the fucking groupers and all. So, but just all in all, the best success I had was when I was always fishing fishing with the ballyhoo. So, let's see where we're at here. We're at 147 feet of water, 146. Yep, we're gonna get going here in a few minutes. I'm gonna pull these in. I don't see much going on down there. Now I have the, I forget the megahertz. It's the 200 or 240, whatever it is. Yeah. It's with 173 now, but 240 megahertz, and that that'll see down to 1,000, maybe 500 feet of water. I don't think 1,000 or 750. I forget what it is. It's somewhere in that line. And one thing in marathon, I will say, you gotta really be careful when you're pulling your line in like this, because there are some aggressive ass fish who will grab that on your way up as fast as I'm reeling. And I think this line here is like a 9 to 1 or something. I forget what it is. And the same idea here, when you're setting your weight, you'll get like a kingfish or a mac will come up and just smack the shit out of that, and then you're fighting a fish and you weren't really prepared for it. So this is what we do. We'll pull this in, set this down. Now again, I just be a little bit more careful because I'm Mercedes. She'll get excited when I fire that motor. And again, I'm a little bit of a fat guy here, so I might go with like a head GoPro, and then I'm gonna order a Wi-Fi GoPro to hotspot my phone so I can do the GoPro live. Because anybody who knows me knows I'll fucking destroy my phone by dropping it in the water 50 freaking times. So. But to the people I do like, you're always welcome to come down. Even if you're short on cash, man, I get it's too expensive. Now, things down here are pretty expensive. But I gotta tell you, I got a buddy down here, Todd. He has an RV, and he always welcomes my friends and family. And always welcome. So you're always available to come down here for free. He will not charge you to use the RV. He just won't do it. I always try to give him a few bucks, but he insists not to. So, but what I do say to my friends and family who do come down and use that, get him a little gift or something, you know. This guy's from Ohio. Really, really good dude. Let me turn this up so you can see what I'll do around here. There we go. So what I'll do is we'll just kick back. To about 95 feet of water. You just guide it back here, 144. Down here you got to be careful on the weekends because it's such a high area of like shoobies. We call them shoobies. Sorry for the wind, just deal with it for a few minutes. It's nice, we're coming out of the slack water. 130. We'll get to the 95. There's a guy over here to the left. I don't know if you see him. Gotta be careful. Try to drift through him. Down here we have like 100-foot courtesy. It's pretty much up north too. It doesn't change much. But you'll see here, if you look at the fish finder, you'll see the dip right here. That's what you want to be fishing on. That's where the groupers build them holes I was telling you about on the side of that. But I like to drift over them and down to them. So, see, Mercedes is up and about. He's checking shit out. Now I got the 108 dips here. I don't know if you can see the fish finder. You'll see a dip in there in the corner. That's that cliff I was telling you about. The 105. We'll go to 95. I see a buoy up here, and I'm not going to bark on that buoy. These things are a pain in the fucking ass. See, now there is where we want to be. See right there. See where that fucking jumps up like that? That's where you want to fish, everybody. So let me turn this son's a bitch around. That means there's a structure down there. It should be good for fishing. Should be. Right there. I don't know if you see it. See how it dropped that fast? That's all the little structures down here. And sometimes they're like little reefs. Natural type reefs. And that's what you want to be fishing. So let's see. The Lord's going to bless. Right there, there's the drop. Choo. That's where we want to be on top of. Chummis. That's what we're hoping for. There's the slip thing I'm telling you about. See how this will slip? The weight to the swivel, to the lock swivel. Swivel snap, or whatever you want to call it. And we just drop this all the way to the bottom. Remember, I run it down, stop, run it, stop. Maybe when I'm kind of finished here, I'll run over to that wreck in the